Hi, I'm Lily. Today I'm going to read you a story, Rocks That Burn. Reading Yellow Book Grade A, Rocks That Burn. Okay, let's read it. They're nothing but rocks, black rocks. That man's trying to cheat us. He's trying to sell us rocks. All right, the man said. Call them rocks if you want to, but they are rocks that burn. They will heat your houses in the winter, and they will make steam to run the machines in your mills and factories. This kind of talk happened a long time ago in city markets when men tried to sell a new kind of very hard core that had just been discovered. People wouldn't buy the coal at first. They thought the men were trying to sell rocks, and everybody knows that rocks don't burn in a fireplace or stove or anywhere else. A piece of core does look like a rock and has been called a rock that burns, but core really isn't rock. At one time, it was a trio of parts of many, many trees. How can trees change into something that looks like a rock? Well, millions of years ago, there were great hot swampy jungles in the world. The trees grew in water and spongy soil, so close together that it would have been hard to tell where one tree started and another ended. Grasses and flowers grew as tall as some of the strange-looking trees. When the growing things died or the wind blew them down, they partly decayed in the warm mud, and more trees and grasses grew in their place. Finally, all this material decayed and became what is called peat. This kept happening for more years than you could count. Rivers, lakes, and seas washed sand and soil on top of everything. Earthquakes shook the land and covered some of it till deeper. Under all that weight of land, the pit was slowly squashed so tightly together that it turned into core. This core is burned today to heat houses and to help make the steam and electricity that run factory machinery. But most of this core is formed deep under the ground. How do we get it out? Some of the coal is close enough to the top of the ground to be stream mined. This means the giant shovels as high as a house and run by machinery, move along the top of the ground and strip or shovel off the dirt and rocks from above the layer of coal. After the core is uncovered, it is broken up and loaded onto trucks or railroad cars. When core is dipped down, tunnels or shafts are dug into the ground to reach it. In some places, the core is being brought out of the mine on long conveyor belts that keep moving the way a escalator does. In other mines, the coal is hoisted up the shaft in cages or elevators. Before the miners go down the hole or mine shaft in a cage, they go down and down into darkness. But when they step out of the bottom of the coal mine, they step into brightness. Electric lights make everything look a little like a small city at night. Offices and machine stops have been hollowed out the core. These are on broad streets or tunnels, where tracks for the little core mine trains run in every direction. To get to their working places, the miners ride the empty core cars far into the mine, where it is so dark that they have to carry lights with them. Most of the train tunnels are so narrow that the miners can reach out and touch the rough floors as the core trains roar along. For many years, drills and powders explosives were used to break up the core so that it could be handled with a pick and shovel. Today, core cutting machinery and machine loaders are used. After the core has been put into the core cars, it is taken to a mine opening, where it is removed and dumped into big railroad cars. Core has been called buried sunlight because of all the sunlight it took to grow the trees that later became core. But there is no sunlight in a core mine, almost everything in a coal mine. Mine is black or hard or cheap or heavy. Air is pumped into a mine for the miners to breathe, but sometimes the air doesn't move as it is supposed to, and different kinds of gas may collect. The gas can cause an explosion, or it can make the air unfit to breathe. Water can flood a mine. The core can catch fire and fill the mine with smoke. Slate and rock can fall on the miners' heads. The core cars sometimes run off the track. There is really no safe place in a coal mine, but the men who run the mines are always looking for safer ways to dig the core. Okay, so rocks that burn was the core. At first, people didn't believe this about this core because they knew that rocks won't burn in a fireplace or stove or anywhere else. This piece of core is from many trees. So many trees that we don't know what tree from what tree started and the another ended. Okay. Today I read a story about rocks that burn, about core. Okay, bye.